Hello everyone, and thank you for joining me today. Today we're going to be doing some Celtic Reiki for Taurus season and to get that Taurus energy flowing. I just straight out the gate want to let you know that there will probably be some outside noise during this session. I really don't have a place where things can be super quiet, and the weather's getting nicer out and it gets a little hot in here if I don't have the windows open. So the windows are open, so we're going to be hearing traffic and cars and all that good stuff, but we're going to go with it. Part of doing this kind of work is that the outside world doesn't stop just because you want to take a break, right? So instead of wishing and getting angry and upset that there's noises, we kind of learn to let the noises pass us by and be what they are. And we try to work through that, breathe through that, and relax anyway. So that's what's going to be going on today. And so I just wanted to do a Taurus season for you like I did for Aries season, because I love astrology. And so we're just going to get some of that Taurus energy balanced for you, whether you need more of the characteristics that make up Taurus or if you need to tamper some of it down. So in astrology, Taurus is represented by the second house, and the second house is your house of resources and values. So it's money, time, energy, resources, assets. It's material things. One of the downfalls of Taurus can be materialistic. However, I think it's important to remember that material things are great. We need material things, and I think there's been a lot of backlash against material comforts, and we try to make ourselves not like it as much, but I think as long as you're in balance with that, it's not a problem. I mean, clothes are nice, pillows are nice, blankets, food, like these are material comforts, and it's okay to like those things. And a Taurus loves their material comforts. So I myself am a Taurus rising. I'm an Aries sun, Cancer moon, Taurus rising. So what a lot of people that don't understand or don't know astrology don't realize is that you actually have every single sign in your chart. If you think of the sky as a big circle, I made a drawing of this, but it's too far away for me to grab right now. But you know, you've seen astrology charts before, those circles with what looks like 12 equal slices of pie. That's the sky when you were born. All the signs are always all in the sky. It just where the different planets were when you specifically were born. So if you think of taking a screenshot or a snapshot of the sky at the moment you were born, where everything is, that is your own personal chart. So you have Taurus in your chart, you just may not have any planets there, but it is in one of the houses in your chart, and whenever things happen, whenever planets move into Taurus, it will impact you personally based on the house that Taurus falls in for you. So for me, I'm a Taurus rising, which is where the sun was on the horizon the moment I was born. Your rising sign changes every 2 hours. So your sun sign is the sign that you know. Most people know their sun sign. It's the month that you were born. So I'm April 19th, which means I'm an Aries sun. But the time of day that I was born and the location in the world I was born means that I'm a Taurus rising. And that is where, or it can be known as rising or ascendant, and that is where the sun was ascending on the horizon. That changes every 2 hours. Your moon sign changes every couple days. The moon moves every couple days into different signs. Your sun sign is kind of the core of who you are. It's your core identity, and it shows how and where you shine. Your moon sign is kind of your inner hidden shadow emotional self, like how you express feelings, and it's a lot of sometimes the things that we hide from others and don't let other people see about us. Your rising sign or your ascendant sign is the direction your life is headed. So A lot of people mistakenly do their horoscopes by using their sun sign, but it's actually better to use your rising sign, because your rising sign is what you are ascending and growing to be. So as I'm getting older, I'm kind of coming into a lot more of my Taurus traits. Also, it can be how people see you as well. It's how you present yourself to the world. It kind of gets a little confusing sometimes to know the difference between your sun sign and your rising sign, because I feel like both of them kind of make up a large part of how other people see us. But if you haven't ever like fully identified with your sun sign, you would really want to look in to see what your moon and rising signs are, because I feel like that would flesh out the picture a little more for you. So with that being said, like I said, I'm a Taurus rising, so I have a lot of Taurus characteristics. And as we are moving into Taurus season, April 19th, April 20th, we're going to be kind of undergoing as a collective some more of these Taurus themes. So like I said, Taurus is ruled by, it is the ruler of the second house, which is your house of values and resources. It is ruled by the planet Venus. And Venus is the planet of love, relationships, beauty, and art. It's the planet of a lot of other things too, but we're just going to keep it at that to be simple. Taurus is an earth sign, and earth signs are known to be grounded, very stable, grounded, reliable, loyal, responsible. And if you want to think of the earth signs as a tree, there's a creator on TikTok that I used to follow that I absolutely love, and I am forgetting their handle right now, but I will put it in the description of this video before I post it, so that you can follow him if you want, because I want to give him credit for coming up with this analogy. But your earth signs are Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. And he said to picture it as if your earth signs are a tree, and Taurus would represent the trunk, the very stable, grounded, rooted, unmoving trunk. Tauruses are known to be stubborn, and so just very unmoving, unyielding. We're not very flexible. We like things a certain way. We like our creature comforts. We like to snuggle under a blanket with a pillow, eat some snacks, watch a movie. And so it's kind of just like a very stable, grounded, unmoving energy. It's also represented by the bull. So if you think about the bull also being like bull-headed, you know. And then Virgo, he said, is represented by the branches of the tree. And I'm not going to go into detail on that in this video. I will do that when I get to my Virgo video. And then Capricorn is the upward growth of the tree. And I will get into that explanation when I do my Capricorn video. I also think I'm going to make a YouTube video that is about astrology 101 in general, where I go over all this stuff. So keep your eyes out for that, because I've made some cue cards that I want to show for visual learners. So I am going to do that eventually, because I want to talk more about astrology on this channel as well. So if we're moving into Taurus season, April 20th through May 20th, the traits of a Taurus are being loyal, dependable, practical, steady, sensual, romantic, luxurious, materialistic, stubborn, patient, artistic, relaxed, lazy, determined, jealous, grounded, committed, and protective. So we had some of the positive attributes in there, and we had some of the challenging attributes in there, because nobody's perfect. We all have our downfalls, you know. And like if a Taurus really loves their material comforts, then the flip side of that could be being materialistic. So we're going to try to balance that out today between enjoying the material comforts that are in a healthy way, but balancing out, like, you know, an overabundance of those material comforts. As a Taurus, I have a real problem with being very bougie and liking fancy things and buying way too much of it. So want to kind of balance that out to have it being like things you enjoy and that make you happy, but not going overboard. They are sensual and romantic, which is definitely a big part of Venus. Venus loves art and beauty and luxury, and a Taurus usually really likes to be very comfortable in their home and have all their things around them. Not every Taurus is necessarily into luxury in terms of, like, you know, Gucci and Prada and name brand stuff. I am, but not every Taurus is. Luxury meaning more like a luxurious fabric, like my couch over here is velvety, and you know, I'm wearing silky clothes. They like things that feel and look luxurious, but to their own taste level. So it doesn't necessarily always have to mean name brand. They are determined, but also stubborn, right? Like, where do you draw the line between being really determined to make something happen versus you're being stubborn and you really just need to let this thing go? So we're going to try to find some balance there. You know, being loyal and dependable and steady is great. Yeah, they're stubborn, but they're also patient. So as an Aries sun, I get very impatient, but then there are parts of me and things in my life that I'm so stubborn about that I'm able to be patient about them. Relaxed, lazy, you know, where do we find that balance? So yeah, protective can be good, or it can veer into jealousy and being overprotective. So today we're going to really work on finding a balance of that Taurus energy. And the Celtic Reiki symbol that I am going to use for that today is Dur, which is oak. If you think of oak, it's just such a solid tree. Solid, thick, big, unmovable. And when you're really thinking of that grounded earth energy of Taurus that I said is very unmoving, and oak is a great example of that. This symbol in the oak represents strength, safety, endurance, wisdom. All your hard, the little booklet I have says, all your hard work and training have paid off. You look majestic and strong, just like the oak. You are in an efficient and fortunate situation in terms of family, work, financial situations, creativity, and relationships. So that's the Taurus stuff right there. Financial situation, work, that's that second house of resources and values and money. And creativity and relationships. Venus is the planet of creativity, love, relationships, art. And then again, you know, with the strength and endurance, that is, I think, of a very like grounded Taurus energy there. It says, believe in yourself. Endurance, it will give you endurance that will improve you and make you more resilient. So we're going to think about resilience, endurance, strength, abundance, financial security, safety. What else? What else do we want to think about? Oaks are considered sacred protectors. They are perfect for meditating and seeking power and safety underneath. So yeah, I think that's the vibe we're gonna go for today. And there's the train. So we're just gonna instead of letting the train horn be annoying and feel like it's getting in the way, we're gonna use the sounds we hear as part of the situation. I have someone that does Reiki on me, and she has a yurt out in her backyard in this like beautiful wilderness, and so you hear all kinds of sounds out there, and I've noticed that sometimes I'll hear cars or tractors or dogs or birds or wind or just all these other things that you hear outside. They will come at moments that make sense, like something she's doing and something I'm going through. Like the sound helps aid it or helps call my attention to whatever I'm thinking about at that time. So if you can think of using these sounds in that way, see if your guides are potentially trying to call your attention to something. So we're just going to start with a little smoke cleanse with some yerba santa. If I can get it lit well enough. It's not always easy to do, but The Taurus is patient and it is stubborn and it perseveres. We're gonna get it smoking a little here. Yep, yep. There we go. There we go. This train is coming through fast and letting you know it's here, blowing its horns, saying, I'm here to carry away all of this negativity that we're clearing with this smoke cleanse. And as you hear the horn fading into the distance, just know that the train is carrying away this negativity that we're clearing. Also going to do some clearing and cleansing with some selenite here, my favorite big selenite wand. As human beings that exist in this world, from day to day, we go out into the world and we pick up gunk. We pick up other people's bad moods. What else do we pick up? That's the only one that's coming to mind right now. But there's a lot of rough things going on out in this world, right? And it's hard not, I mean, some people, it affects them more than others. I'm an empath, so it affects me a lot more than someone who is not an empath. But I think as human beings, we pick up stuff out in the world, no matter what. Experiences affect us. Other people affect us. Energies affect us. There are entities that are out there that aren't our guides. They're not our angels that impact us, or that are trying to impact us in ways that we don't want. And so every day, if you're not working on clearing this, it's just kind of building and building and building in your system. And every so often, we just got to go through and clear that out. Clear out the things that don't belong to us. Also, some of it might belong to you, but you also don't want it there. Maybe you didn't pick it up from other people, but it's just something that it isn't serving you, is stagnant, toxic, and it's just stuck energy. It's just always good to move that stuck energy and to get things flowing. You know, if you've got a river that's dammed up at one spot, the water isn't gonna flow past that dam into the other spots. And if you think of your chakra system that way, if you've got chakras that are blocked, the energy can't move in harmony throughout your system, doing the work that it needs to do. So it's just always good to be mindful and check in with that and clear the stuff that you don't want. And we'll give it to Mother Earth and we'll ask her to transmute it. Energy is energy. And we can turn energy from bad to good, from useless to useful. And take this energy that we're cleansing from your body that is not serving you, give it to Mother Earth and ask her to transmute it into energy that is good and positive and helpful, that can then be redispersed in a positive way. And we want to send Mother Earth our gratitude for doing this. Thank you for taking and cleansing this energy that isn't serving us and turning it into something that will. Okay. Now I want to use a little smoky quartz for some grounding. I am very influenced by colors, and to me this beautiful kind of like brownish color feels very earthy and grounding to me. And since Taurus is a grounded earth sign, I really want to focus on grounding you. A lot of us really live up here. We're always thinking. We can't turn our mind off. We can't turn our mouth off. We can't turn our ears off. We're holding tension in our shoulders and our neck and our jaw. And it's a million miles a minute up in our head. And that keeps us from being grounded. It's almost kind of like our head is this balloon that like floats us into the air, like that house and up with all the balloons. The house should be grounded and rooted into the ground. It's a house. It should be stuck on that foundation, but it isn't. It's up in the air. And a lot of us get like that. And if you find yourself just really, really stressed and anxious and worked up, for me, the first thing I go to is grounding. I go outside and plant my feet in the bare earth. I hug my trees. I take deep breaths. I meditate on the idea of roots growing out through the bottom of my feet into the earth, connecting with the roots of the other trees, the network of the trees, letting them ground me, protect me, stabilize me, anchor me, heal me. Those trees, they're connected through a network where they help each other, and you can be part of that network too. And as Aries season is ending, Aries is it's the spark that starts the fire. It's a fire sign. It's the first one. It's the spark that starts the fire. It's about action, passion, energy, initiation, beginnings, movement. And so it's a very, very go, go, go energy. And that has its place and its value. But if you've been feeling unbalanced and unrooted because of that, let this Taurus season energy root and balance and ground you. It feels really good to get grounded when you feel like your head is floating off into the sky. Deep cleansing breaths. I like to do a 4-6-8, where I breathe in through my nose for a count of 4, hold for 6, and out through my mouth for 8. The idea of breathing out for twice as long as you breathe in has to do with it helps relieve anxiety to do twice as long of an out breath. And if you're having a lot of anxiety and stress and feeling the go, 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 thinking about how the Taurus doesn't really have a problem being lazy. And it's okay to be lazy every so often. I think it's a word made up by capitalism, you know? It shouldn't be negative. I mean, it can be, right? Like sometimes being lazy means like you're letting somebody else do everything for you and you're not contributing when you should be. And you're like you're capable, but you're not doing it, and somebody else is picking up the slack. That's not good. So we want to get rid of that. But it's to rest, to do self-care, to take breaks, to have your creature comforts. It's a big part of Taurus, and it's very important. Curling up on your couch under a blanket with snacks and a movie or music and a book. Taking a long candlelit bubble bath while eating some ice cream. Things that feel luxurious, like tactile, tangible. Blankets, pillows, bubble baths. I laid in my hammock and read today while listening to music. Really taking that time for yourself, to take care of yourself and do something that feels a little luxurious. Treat yourself. It's a very Tom and Donna from Parks and Rec situation. Think about treating yourself. That's a very Taurus thing to do. Okay. Now we're gonna make sure I'm doing it the right direction for the camera. I'm gonna point that way for the camera, okay? We're gonna be solid. We're gonna be strong. We're gonna have endurance, stability, structure, groundedness, protection, wisdom, financial security, every other kind of security, mental, physical, emotional, spiritual security. We're going to be steady. We're going to be practical. We're going to enjoy some luxury and comfort from time to time, but we're not going to take it overboard. We're going to be sensual and romantic. Appreciate art and beauty. Especially now that Venus has come out of its retrograde. Hopefully we're going to feel kind of more of that forward-moving Venus energy. We're going to be determined, but not stubborn. We're going to appreciate material comforts, but not be materialistic. We're going to be relaxed, but not quote-unquote lazy. We're going to be protective, but not jealous. We're going to commit to the things that are important to us. We're going to have long-lasting, committed, patient, grounded, steadfast, stable, secure energy, intentions, movements. We are the trunk of a tree, of an oak tree. Tina Fey is a famous Taurus. And if you think about her character on 30 Rock, with her night cheese and her Snuggie and all of her creature comforts and snacks, that's some nice Taurus energy right there. And I love it. I love it. We're going to appreciate the beauty in things. We're going to take time to smell the roses. When we go outside, we're going to hug a tree. We're going to appreciate the flowers. We're going to talk to the plants. And we're just going to take some time to appreciate the art and beauty of nature. Taurus is a very nature-forward sign, especially since it's an earth sign. And this time of year, with the weather getting better, and the days getting longer, is a great time to be out in some nature, appreciating it. And we're not going to be ashamed of our resources and creature comforts, but we are going to tamp down any kind of overabundance of spending or collecting resources that do not serve us. It's not to say you can't have things you don't need, but finding that line between what is truly going to make you happy and what is just a quick fix. As I said, Taurus is the bull, so I'm going to use this horn. I don't know what it's from. I don't remember. I bought it at my local crystal store. It's called Mackay. It's in Energy, Illinois. If you're ever in the area, I highly recommend going there. I absolutely love that store. It's where most of my stuff is from. I'm going to use this bullhorn to put in some of this strong oak energy of endurance, determination, strength, security. And we're going to seal it all in with this piece. All of the negative, toxic energy that we cleared and then refilled with this grounded, stabilizing, secure, rooted Taurus energy. And we're going to seal it in so that you don't get quickly filled up with all the negative again, and that you have some good, solid, positive energy to work with, to share at your disposal with others, but to keep the parts for yourself that keep you satiated. Satiated is a great word for Taurus. It's sensual. It loves food and snacks and sleep, home. So satiated feels like a good word for that. Sealing it in. Yeah. Go around your back and under and over and around and under and over and all around. All around. Just imagine yourself in your own protective bubble. If you want to use that Taurus earth energy, imagine you're just like wrapped in a hug with like the branches and leaves of a tree around you, just creating this like protective perimeter around you. Or other earth elements. I love imagining different animals forming a protective circle around me, keeping out the crap. Animals are part of nature, so any type of natural element that you want to envision creating this protective circle around you. And you are this strong, grounded oak tree, rooted in. Okay. I hope that you all feel a little more grounded and stable and secure, like your endurance is intact, like you can go out and have some good, healthy self-care. Not go overboard on the luxury, but treat yourself every now and then. If you're someone who never does, I want you to feel like you can. If you're someone who always does, I want you to reel it in. I need to reel it in. I need someone to do this on me to reel it in. Okay, guys. Have a lovely Taurus season, and thank you so much for being here. Please like and subscribe as I'm growing my channel. I would love to have you here.